guys, what's up? It's Yugi Scrubs here. This is Burn Bro Oni-chan.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So we were at the Fort Worth Regional a couple weeks ago. We were having troubles with recording. That's why we couldn't record sooner. Sorry about that. I ended up placing 73rd, but only because I had the record to top until I lost the last round, simply because I didn't read my opponent's card and I knew that he didn't have an out. So this deck is topping worthy. It is. It should have topped. I am not, however.
I would also like to point out one thing is that the reason it wasn't really his fault. He didn't not read the card because the judges were right there. So when the judges are looking at your game, it's kind of like, well, I'm assuming what he's doing is legit because the judges didn't call him.
There was a head judge watching, and then there was the other judge right there watching right next to us.
Yeah.
So I was just like, whatever, you know. But this deck, top worthy. Okay. So let's just get right into it.
All right, let's see it.
It's a 41 card deck. I love it. I really love this deck. It did everything I wanted to all day. I'll play the one Lazion. You get it out. It's 1,000 points of damage when they draw. That was got me a game. It's a great card.
And that was in place of the Medion, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about just even siding Medion in case my opponent had problem cards, but I had other stuff I wanted to side and just couldn't find the room. But Lazion did great all day. Never even sided it out. And then I played 2 Backjack. A lot of people play 3. I do not want to play 3. I just don't like 3. I see him. It sounds bad to say I see him too much, or I see Backjack off Backjack. Never saw Backjack off Backjack today or then. A lot of times I would even side out Backjack for other cards because once they saw that literally the only set monster that I would have is Backjack, they would just start removing him from play, and he was useless at that point. So that is all for the monsters. I played 3 monsters in the entire deck. The judges were kind of making fun of me when I turned in my deck list. They were like, "You're only playing 3 monsters?" And I was like, "Yep." But that is all you need. 4 would be too many.
You don't recommend Lava Golem?
No, do not main deck Lava Golem. He does not synergize very well with Card of Demise.
True.
Because you draw a Lava Golem off of Card of Demise. Too bad, so sad. You can't even use him because of Card of Demise's effect. So you need your draw power. You need that. The Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality won me so many games. I cannot, not even kidding, for a card that I side deck. I'll tell you about that later. Then I play Double Desires. You can play 3. I really don't recommend it because it's a great card. It's good to see it in your opening hand, but you draw into this late game, you're gonna lose. You have so many draw cards in this deck, you will deck yourself out. So you really don't want to see it late game. So that's what I recommend. That is all the spells.
Only draw power spells.
Only draw power spells, and then that's everything besides the traps. I run 30 traps in this deck. I changed it, so now I run triple Ojama Trio. I love it. It's a great card. They can link away with it, but before that, you're doing everything during their standby phase anyway. They're not going to link them away during their standby. Or it is also the only form of disruption you have in your entire deck, pretty much, because they have 2 monsters on board. They activate something to special summon from deck. Chain Ojama Trio, their card fizzles. Now they have 3 tokens. It's a good card. I liked it. Could not be tributed. Kind of screwed over some True Draco. Cards that synergize with Ojama Trio is Just Desserts, Secret Barrel, Secret Blast, and Triple Balance of Judgment. You play 3 of everything. Do not play any less of any of these. It's a bad idea if you don't. Balance of Judgment is such a good card. I have drawn 5 off of this card so many times because I empty my board because I can activate everything, and then they flood the board. I activate this. I draw an entirely new back row. It won me so many games. Secret Blast did great. People were trying to pop my back row. I have something else that's really good for helping against that. Really screwed over my opponents. So that's for the cards that synergize with Ojama Trio. It's a lot of cards that synergize with it. You play triple Reckless. You do. Occasionally, if you really need to side one out, you can just play double, but I didn't really do that. Triple Threatening Roar. It's better than Waboku, but I play 2 of them because Waboku's great. It also keeps your monsters from being destroyed if you need them. I have, by battle, I have some stuff in the side deck, or in the extra deck. I can talk to you about that in a minute. Double Dimension Wall. I have a third one. Didn't want it because Masterpiece isn't a thing anymore. Cards that just aren't affected aren't that prevalent right now. But this is a great card because it activates during damage calc. A lot of times they can't even try and negate it. So,
and it's one thing I would point out is that it's a player card. It's not a
it affects the player. Has nothing to do with the card. So if it says unaffected by traps, too bad, so sad, still goes through. And then also another battle trap is Blazing Mirror Force. I only play 1. Most people play 2. I liked 1. I saw it when I wanted to see it. I didn't really want to see it that often because your deck really doesn't have any forms of destruction besides that and Ring of Destruction. That is it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes with problem cards, it's a great thing to do. Like with Sleeper, it's a great card. A tech choice that I decided to run, and I am so happy that I ran it, is Waking the Dragon. Play triple Waking the Dragon. This is a 41 card deck. It was 40 cards, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just throwing in the third Waking the Dragon. This card won me so many games. Because of stuff I run in the extra deck. Altergeists, they pop it. You get out your monster. A lot of times they just scoop. It just play 3. It's not an expensive card. You play 3.
It's like a buck, isn't it? It's not
expensive. A lot of times what I would do is people would be so scared of popping Waking the Dragon is that I would game 2 side all 3 of them out, and they just don't pop back row, or if they do, they sided out most of their stuff that pops it. It's or moves from play, which is so good. So if they get rid of it almost in any way, it's a great card. Seriously. That's the deck. It's 41 cards. My Waking the Dragon targets, here I'll just show you real quick, is Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. Altergeists can't play through this. They just can't. Unless they're playing Utopia, they don't have an out. A lot of times they'd pop this, I summon this, they just start picking up their extra deck.
Their cards, yeah.
95% of the time, this is your target that you're going into. Other times, you want to go into the Last Warrior. Neither player can summon. On his summon, he destroys all the monsters that you control, but you play 3 monsters, and Lazion is indestructible, and Backjack is better in the grave. Also, something else I forgot to point out. Backjack synergizes with Card of Demise. If he is sent to the grave, his effect is activated. So, even if you draw him off of Card of Demise and you just want his effect, it works. So, that's another thing. I forgot to mention that. Mm-hmm. Another target is Ventura. It's a great card. It's removed from play. So, it's a Spell Trap in your graveyard. It could even just be Waking the Dragon, and then you mill 1. So you've always got something. Negate Spell Trap as many times as you want. If it's a really Spell Trap card, heavy deck, just get this out. They can't do anything. And then little tech choice is Howitzer. It's unaffected by card effects, and it can deal 1,000 during your main phase. So you activate Waboku, Blazing Mirror Force. You keep him safe from battle with a ton of other stuff you have, and he does that burning for 1,000. So if you just need someone, if they got 1,000 left, you pop that out, wait for your turn, activate his effect. Never went into it, but I decided that it was safer to have him and not need him than need him and not have him. You know, I liked it. The rest of the deck, you can take him out for more cherries targets if you want to. I do have cherries in the side deck, but the rest of the extra deck is just cherries targets. They're play for your locals, play for what you think is going to be at regionals. These are just what I decided to go with. Totally awesome. Screws over this deck. Side frame. You want to keep your cards. Seraphinite. Sorry, I'm tired. Seraphinite. You want to stop their combos. You don't want them to go off too much. ABC Buster You know, it's a good card. They can still play through it a lot of times, but it's great. Altergeist Hextia, you need to get this. I almost forgot that card at home, and I would have been so upset. But yeah, it's pretty much the only thing they go into, and it negates your stuff. I have a Zoldy. I had to give it back because it's been a couple weeks. So, but that is what I had. It was for the Goki matchup. Curious because I wasn't sure if I would find the graveyard decks there. I didn't, but I just wanted to be safe. Double Helix played 2 Spiral Nightmare decks. This card, having this as a target, was great. Stopped a lot of combos. One stopped the World Chalice, and then for Sky Striker, I played Sky Striker in the last round. Should have won. This deck has no problems with Sky Striker, pretty much. It was just my own fault. So that is the extra deck. It is completely up to player preference, what's going to be at your locals, what you can afford. Something that I wish that I had was the Electromite. Probably would take out the Curious, but I don't have that spare $20, so I played Curious. And then you got to have the tokens, you know, makes it easier on everybody. Then for the side deck was a real player. It really was. It was a great. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll tell you what I like and what I didn't like. Cherries. You play cherries. Like why not? You play 4 extra deck. You know, you play 1 if anything. Mm-hmm. You just need the 1. It's great. You get them. They're amazing for game 2. Electromagnetic Turtle. I love Turtle. He synergizes amazingly with Card of Demise.
A lot of things do in this deck. I'm getting.
It does, because you don't want things. You don't. That's the problem with Chainburn, is that it runs out of resources a lot. So you want to maximize any resources that you can get. But I did have on the side. Also, I had the Lava Golem to get rid of problem cards. I had a Sphere Mode. Would have played a second Sphere Mode. Would have played 2 Sphere Mode and a Lava Golem, but I didn't have an extra Sphere Mode. So, but it was fine. Didn't really see them. Lava Golem I did see, actually. He got rid of some problem cards. And I run 2 Battle Faders. I wish I didn't have these. Never cited them. They don't go well with Card of Demise. The reason I was citing these was because of Red Reboot. Red Reboot's a thing. Red Reboot will screw your deck over. So you need counters to Red Reboot. Because you can't chain to it, you can't do any of that, so you need other ways to stop them from.
The only thing that stops it is another counter trap.
Yeah,
specifically
to stop killing you. Mm-hmm. Dark Hole, Regeki, in case they had problem monsters that I really couldn't deal with. Never cited them in. I wouldn't recommend citing them, but if you've if you've got someone at your locals that really likes Denko Sekka, then keep them. Triple Evenly.
This I will admit, this was my bad. He would have had 3, but I needed some cards, so I traded 1 away.
Yeah, these are actually Lucy's cards that he loaned to me. But like I said, it's been a few weeks, so he did have the 3rd one, but he just sold it the other night. But you play 3. I would, after this tournament, I would consider main decking 3. It won me so many games. Spiral Nightmare especially. It just won me games. It's so something about evenly matched is that, so where is it? It synergizes amazingly
with Ojama
Trio, and it also interrupts Ojama Trio. So whenever you activate Ojama Trio, give them 3 tokens. Activate Evenly Matched. They cannot banish tokens face down. They have to keep the tokens. So that means that they don't even get to keep 1 card. That's usually what makes Evenly Matched not too broken, is that your opponent gets to keep 1 card, and they get to choose that 1 card. But if they have the tokens, they can't do that. That is, and Potted Duality, that's what I was saying, was what it found me evenly matched. They, with a Spiral Nightmare a couple times, would put it at the bottom of what I was going to draw, because they could organize what I was going to draw the next top 3 cards. Activate Potted Duality. Oh, I see that you didn't want me to get evenly matched. I'll just take that, you know. Another thing with Ojama Trio is, which sucked, but I did get this off, is that I would go first. I'd set 5. They draw, battle phase. I activate Ojama Trio. They get chain Ojama Trio to evenly match. They get 3 tokens. Now you control the same number of cards as they do, and they're out of their battle phase. So it's a really great thing. It's a good counter to evenly matched, because Waking the Dragon will not go off against evenly matched. But seriously, it's so good. You run so much battle negation.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
So strong.
Yeah.
And then lastly, kind of a tech choice in my side deck was Red Reboot. I did not run them for the Altergeist matchup. I ran them because Red Reboot counters Red Reboot. And that's the only thing. But it did happen to me one time. I activated evenly matched. He activated Red Reboot, or he activated evenly matched. I activated Red Reboot, and then he Red Rebooted my Red Reboot. So it does happen. You could side 3, take out one of the battle faders, but I wouldn't recommend it because it could get bricky. Instead, what I would do is that would be what I would side in to go against Red Reboot. You see it often enough, and that's really all you need, because the only way to get into Red Reboot is to hard draw it.
Okay.
So, but that is the deck. It is regional topping worthy. I am not, though.
Okay.
So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be coming up with more stuff, and I know Lucy has got some stuff in the works, too.
Yes.
So,
This is YuGiOh Scrubs signing off.
peace out, guys.
I know it ain't